my larger audience. It gets shared more there for some reason. So I'm going to record for Rumble as soon as I start chitter-chattering. So my name is Raven Moonstone from Raven Moonstone News. I have a lot of new followers, apparently, and I've lost a lot of followers. So we're going to address all of those things right away. And we're going to talk about the big what if scenario, because today is March 7th, 2024, and there's a lot of things happening in the everywhere. So let's talk about the first thing I want to address, because I have not addressed it on YouTube, but I will address it on YouTube, because I'm sure it'll bring out anybody who wants to say anything. First, I forgot to press record. Hold on a second. Gonna do the intro again. And yes, I'm drinking coffee out of my copper mug. So let me just press record in case this video gets slammed off. Hi there, my name is Raven Moonstone of Raven Moonstone News. I'd like to thank the big Raven Moonstone News team, which consists of Leanne, Catnip Spice. She watches a lot of videos, does a lot of analogies, thinks pretty similar the way I do, and has had my back online for a number of years, and I'm totally grateful to her. To Tarot Spice, Dana, who does amazing card readings, like I can't even, like, we call it Tag Team Tarot, because it's funny. She'll read the cards and she'll like, I don't know what this means, and I'm like, I do. And then so we kind of analyze of what's going on in the big picture. And then we have Taco, Andrea, who posts from eyes to see, ears to hear, and she shares awesome information on child trafficking, grooming, and all of the symbology, and does deep dives on lots of creep eggs in especially Alberta and all over Canada. So today's show, I'm going to address a number of things that have been going on in the background of not only my life but other people's lives, and tell you my humble opinion on what I see being portrayed on a lot of these, not only channels but even with my friends. I'm like, okay, so it appears now is the time that I have to address a few elephants in the room. Big elephants. So my elephants. So I want to talk about 4 words that start with the letter D. Detachment, discernment, and due diligence. Okay? Detachment, discernment, and due diligence. And don't mind Kelly's and she's crying in the bedroom. Otherwise she would be like all over business right now. And the puppy's having a nap. I already took him to the dog park. So it's like a jungle over here. So of lots of kitties, puppies, and cats that don't like other cats. So let's get on with this conversation, and I'm just going to keep it to a simple analogy, okay, instead of actually going, well, maybe I'll just talk about it all, never mind. I've been basically doing videos for 4 years now, as many of you know, and I have been doing my due diligence with researching all of this stuff that's going on in the background to give you my discernment of what I've discerned, okay, and I've detached from the outcomes. So I'm going to talk about a couple of timelines that I really never talk about because, or I try and stay out of them, because I see what is happening amongst my peers, and it actually makes me super sad. So this is why I feel like, out of love and respect for all the people that have been in and out of my life, as far as friends, viewers, whatever, it doesn't matter, family, it applies to all of us. Okay, so what's happening right now, and I'll just use this big lawsuit that's going on between I'll just say Mr. PG and Mr. NA, okay? And I did not know that NA used my chart in his video. I did not know that until a couple weeks ago. And I could not figure out for the life of me before that why people were being so volatile and so aggressive and so rude and so like, you're like, just come out of the world like I've never seen before. I was like, what the is happening? Like, nobody's watching my show. Like, I honestly had no concept of how come people went from 0 to 60 all of a sudden. Like, I was aware of that movie, but I didn't watch it. And why didn't I watch it? A friend of mine asked me, well, you should go watch it because your stuff is in there. And I said, I'm not watching it for this particular reason. So I'm going to tell you why I won't watch this video. I've watched my portion of the video, and NA basically used that chart without my permission, number one. And I didn't know how I felt about it, and I'm not attaching any emotion to it at all. Like, it's just somebody who used my artwork to me without my permission. However, what it has done to me personally has caused a great amount of interesting, I'll just say interesting, because I'm not, some of these people I'm like, honestly, I don't get it. And I'll tell you why I don't get it. This is why I'm not mad, okay? My work has been used in that video. My own work. I didn't see anybody else's, I should repeat that, Leanne's video, and she did not see anybody else's work in there except for my chart. He talked about other people, but not just, he didn't even use my name. So I was like, wow, like, you're using something that I put together with my own handwriting and then basically saying I'm kind of kooky for thinking that. How do I feel about that? And my thought process behind the whole thing is, well, if you're taking my work and putting it in a context that wasn't originally intended for, then what does that say about the rest of the video? That's all. And then also, if you are in the game, and this has been going on for 4 years, so it's just another test, to me especially, is whether or not I'm going to get attached to that negatively or whatever. I am not. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was like a little upset about it because it caused all these trolls, but I don't give a shit what people think about me. It's none of my business. Like, if you wanna go and, like, there has been an I Hate Raven page for 2 years. Dude, I know you're there, and I just think it's funny. Like, to me, it's funny. For 2 years, people have been like, just like, wow, I'm that important. Super, you know? So what I see happening is, if you were to just watch the one video, you would think that you have a different, like, you have one opinion. And if you were to watch the other video and not watch, like, say you watched NAs and didn't watch PGs, then you have one opinion. And say you watched NAs and PGs, okay, and you still have one opinion. Say you watch just PGs and you have that opinion of support or whatever. What I'm trying to get at is, if you put somebody in a place of respect, and I'm going to use that word respect, some people confuse that with putting people on a pedestal, number one. So I respect PG because of his work, his life work, and who I think he is. And this conversation about what he's been called, I've known about for over a year. So all of those emotions attached to what people think before they started trolling me were already processed a long time ago. That's why I don't care what people are getting at when they're saying, he's a this, he's that. I've seen it with his own mouth. Did you see edited video, or did you see it in a continual string and saw the whole video? So what I'm getting at with all of this is if you are attaching yourself to a negative vibration, either in support of one or the other, if you're going on and saying, I love Nick, you did a great job with your video, he's a great video producer, seriously, it was great. You know, all of his videos were great, very well produced. But they're movies that, to me, are not well researched. Because if they were well researched, he would have asked me for my permission. And he would have asked me what context that I actually made the video, or he would have watched other videos from a year ago, right? That's all. He would have done his due diligence in asking for my permission. So, he didn't do his own discernment. He didn't do his due diligence. And I'm not going to attach a negative emotion because that's my test. Do you see? It's my test to be, I'm not getting on the anger bandwagon of either, because this is the discernment. Are you playing the game or are you watching a movie? I'm watching a movie. I'm watching the movie. I'm detached from those outcomes. Because here's the thing with my work. I personally have a stake in what this lawsuit is going on, because it's my work in his video, okay? Now, take myself out of the picture. How you are spreading negative vibrations about PG still, or NA, either or, how are you helping? How are you helping? How have you discerned to stay out of that vibration? And I want to ask the trolls this one glaring question, okay? Because I don't think they're doing due diligence. I think they're just scanning and getting on the right away. And that's what's going on with everybody here. Every single person. I want to know how PG affects your life directly if you don't like him. Tell me that. How does he affect your life directly? Michelle, I'm making a resting bitch face if you're watching. He doesn't. That's the test. How does NA affect your life directly? You, personally. How does he affect your life directly? I'll wait. He doesn't. So sitting in judgment of something that you do not have the full picture of, just like, oh, you watched one little clip of my video and everybody thinks I'm a chart making geometry, a crazy person. Like, I could choose to sit here and go, oh my goodness, people are so mad at Raven, and 4 years, oh my god. They're still pissed over Greg Hell. I'm seriously not lying about that. All I'm here to do, I've felt from the very beginning, is to be not like the other people. That's my job, not be like the other people. If that means I'm like, hey, wait a second. Why would they be showing, and this is a logical question right now. Coming up Saturday, there's a big show on in Canada where I'm pretty sure I'm going to make another round of like, oh, look, there's Raven next to the... Like, I'm just waiting for those trolls. Countdown, 2.5 days to go. You know, this is what people are forgetting. This color shirt and what I'm wearing on my head have been in control of the media. For how? I don't know. You tell me. So, if they're gold pilling people in the media, what if, you guys, let's just, what if tonight, during the State of the Union, we see a little movie like Dave with Kevin Kline played out, where he's playing a president while the president's actually in a coma. And they plan his escape by making him boom in the middle of the State of the Union. Boom. There's one down. The next one, POP. The next one, Charles. So what if those things happen and we get more disclosure? And then we hear maybe that PG is someone who everyone thought he wasn't. This is my big question because people haven't been doing their due diligence. For over a year, I have been doing my due diligence. I've been decoding, I've been talking many times about, words that not only PG uses. I'll just bring up one in glaring proof. You guys haven't been paying attention as long as I have, and I don't even watch PG's stuff. Like, just so you know, I don't watch his. I watched one live the other night, and I was like, so blared out from being in the city. I was like, oh, I know what words you're saying, but it's not like decoding in my head like it normally does. I'm pretty here. But the couple of words he said when they asked him who is. Guess what? In my Who is Q video a year ago, those same words. Go, go. I don't know. Why would we be going through all of this right now if it wasn't one big effing honeypot? Y'all think of that? Somebody goes online and say PG serves papers to Nick, and then all of a sudden it's like other people underneath. Just creates one big more lawsuit. Do you see what's happening here? Class action defamation lawsuit. So let's go into one of the things that I decoded, and I find it very impossible and a glaring, obvious decode. What is the biggest company that had a last week or the week before? AT&T. Oh, go put A-T-A-N-D-T in Gematria. Guess what you find? You guys ready for this? Defamation. Declassification. I've said this before. What is the name of the company where these fake texts from this 15-year-old came from? AT&T. There are no coincidences, people. The other word that's in Gematria is declassification. And boom, with 3 O's. What are we seeing this week? I know a lot of people can't make those connections, but I'm helping you make them for you. And if you've been watching my videos for 4 years, you might trust a little bit of what I might have to discern from my research. That's all. That's all I'm saying. So, the other part of discernment that is glaringly obvious to people who are against PG is how in the heck does that guy have 4 kids around him? And how in the heck is that guy, like, traveling all over? And how in the heck did that guy know that 14 months ago when he used the phrase, when you hear unlock boxes, it's go time? Oh, gee, didn't TRUMP just use that 3 weeks ago in a speech? What's in my Who is Q video? That phrase. Full circle. So, these are the glaring things that I am looking at this week. They are hand-delivering people golden little love bombs in the fake news that are aligning with a lot of stuff in the background. I know a lot of people don't have time to watch a lot of people or what have you, but what we're up against is the one simple thing: detachment. And why must you detach from these emotions negatively for either one? because you're not sitting in your heart love space. If somebody was coming, say you like me, say I love Raven, she just feels like my best friend. You know, I get that a lot because I don't fuck around. I just tell you what I'm thinking. So say somebody was attacking me constantly about, I don't like that hat you're wearing. That hat makes you look like a like whatever. Wouldn't you guys feel like, what is wrong with these people? Why can't they see that Raven is just trying to do her best, you know, or trying to be good? Sometimes people can't see the good because they don't feel good about themselves. That's the bottom line. So that's the discernment part that people are being tested at. If you are still angry enough to put shit on somebody's page negatively, you have not done your own discernment with why you are still fucked off. And you're losing the game. You are losing the game because you're still playing Kabbalion shit. You're still running through that program of hierarchy. This person is better than that person. No, we're all equal. Period. Some of us have bigger jobs. I'm not saying me, but some of us have bigger jobs and some of us don't. But each one is important. And if you missed any of this, it's all on my Rumble videos. The last few weeks, I've been trying to not only level myself up in detaching from everything that's going on, but also trying to just observe so I can be ready for when all of this information comes out to help other people. So I'm saying this with utter love to everybody, is just detach. If you are still angry, even at me, you need to show yourself love. A lot of love. I mentioned this on Facebook, but I have not mentioned this elsewhere. I had a very eye-opening personal experience with somebody in my, I don't know, I'll just say remote family, where I had to literally, I was shocked, like beyond shocked at what transpired, and especially in the relationship of everything that we're learning. And it took me like aback, like I was like, what the literally I had a what the fuck personal moment, like what I was being tested really hard, really hard. And this is something that I think we must understand about ourselves. If our thoughts keep going there because I need to forgive myself, if our thoughts keep going to somewhere where they don't belong, we need to send ourselves love. It has nothing to do with that other person. We need to forgive that other person and dismiss that energy, not spiritually bypass it, but acknowledge that you participated with a person or whatever, and the outcome was not favorable to you or whatever, if that was a past experience. Do you know what I'm saying? So we must look at it as an observer now, and for the lesson that it is. And if people aren't getting what this big online lesson is, stop this video, start it again, and rewatch it all over again. It's okay, like, not everybody's gift of love gets received, and not everybody's bullying gets received. I don't participate in bullying. I don't participate in, once you've put yourself in a protective bubble and you're elevating your auric field, it's very hard for people to infiltrate that anymore. You have these clear defined boundaries of love and what's acceptable. Even my son was kind of, you know, like, he's mid-20s. They talk stupid. Like, there's no other way to describe it. He's not even 25 and he still talks dumb. And I'm like, can you not? I'm your mother. Like, can you not? Like, he's still a child. Let's just face it. But I have to clearly define those boundaries because it's respect. And we haven't had enough respect for each other. Online, it's easy to troll, it's easy to just get involved, it's easy to, jump on somebody's I hate you bus and ride along with it and not even have a clue why you're on that fucking bus. So get off the bus, get to the stop, sit down in silence and figure out why you even got on the bus in the first place. The only bus we should be on after watching my show for 4 years is information and love bus. That's it. Detachment, information, and love. The lid bus. That's funny. But, and I hope that makes sense to you. So, what's happening? If you had watched my chess video on Rumble, it'll make so much sense now. Saying, right now, the Queen died physically. But Jacob de Rothschild, the finger pointer on the bank, was behind the Queen. The most powerful player off the board now. What's coming out in Poland's papers? Oh, Williams, the son of who? That dude. Where's Maury? Come on, Maury. I want the DNA on all these. So, we're gonna have to adapt to each piece of information. That's why people getting hung up on a negative one, you're on a negative rung. And you need to look at the movie for the hilarity that it is. I explained to my friend yesterday, I said, do you know what I feel like in this movie? Because I only have 7,000 people on Telegram. Not only, that's a lot, I guess. I don't even know who's on there, and I bless every single one of you for being there with me. And all the people that watch on my YouTube and Rumble, I don't have a lot of following. I mean, it looks like it, but not a lot of people watch my videos. So I was making a joke. I'm like, because I'll be in the media again, and it's just like that D actor, that comes on once every 4 seasons, that weird hippie that maybe one person out of 100 will identify. Like, yeah, I totally get that chick. I know what she's talking about. Yeah, that's what I feel like in this weird Kardashian movie. So I'm very just seeing how each person's roles are important to how this show is being played. I don't necessarily like all the actors in it, but that doesn't mean I've got to attach I hate that person. That's such a waste of energy, man. And if you think that about me, you are wasting your time, because literally it's like a Nerf gun of your little dinky emotions of anger against my huge love bubble. Boink, 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 boink. It don't care. It just don't. So, but I'm going to read a few comments on YouTube because we're here. And 4D chat. Oh yes. Good afternoon. Yay. Yes, the Spice Cruise does amazing digging. I love it all. And you're seeing also the crash. Oh, love the ponytail. Thank you. This is my new hat I bought for I think $1.50. Yes. I don't know what that says. It's in some sort of. Oh, you're from Uzbekistan. Oh, sweet. Free. Yeah. Okay. So I'm not going to read the political stuff because you'll see how this all comes full circle. So I want to tell you a couple funny stories about why I think I'm in the city. I didn't really want to be in here until the 14th, and at 41 viewers. And I just kept asking Tarot Spice, can you read and see if I'm supposed to stay here, pack up with the animals and go, or go back home? And Muffins would lose her shit. I'm pretty sure she's poor bipolar little kitty. If you didn't see her on my Telegram, she's my son's cat. She's hilarious. She doesn't like to be pet by anyone but my son. So you try and pet her, she's like, meow. But anyways, so I've determined that I'm supposed to be here. And even the address that I'm at is very magical and things like that. And I think it's because there's this big transmutation of energy that needs to happen. So I've been kind of like jamming these red pills down people's throat very quickly at, like, say, the grocery store in a line. I'll be like paying for my stuff and I'll be like, you guys, did you hear Bank of America, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, the US, go get some silver. And this guy behind me, he's a total douche yesterday. In Marda Loop, I don't know if you know Calgary. I'm sorry, I love my friends that live there. I totally love my friends that live in Marda Loop, but I think they combat all the douche canoes that live in Marda Loop, because like there are some really rude people there. I'm not saying you're one. If you're watching, you're obviously in Marda Loop to transmute that energy too, because people are so rude and that woke. This one guy, literally, I thought he was shopping behind me. He's like, excuse me. He just like comes out of nowhere. I'm like, okay, Mr. Woke. I just like went along my way. I'm like, I'm not even, I'm just gonna make a joke out of you. But I went in to go do some printing yesterday. And the lovely lady at the print shop is like, she was hilarious. And there was nobody else in the print shop. There was an older guy there, but he left. He had to go. And so her and I got to talking, just about stuff. And she's like, oh, you sound like me. Nobody likes talking to me and my family. And she's the black, blah, blah, blah. And, about this. And I said, hey, did you know that Trudeau is on the LIST? And she went, banged her head. She's like, oh, I figured as much. What a dirtbag, or whatever she said. And I'm like, and his wife too. And she's like, what? And I'm like, can I tell you, I think they're all going to be rounded up and arrested. She was like, woo, like all super excited. Super funny. But anyways, that's kind of what's been going on. And when I go have these conversations, and some people will just look at me, of course, with the, huh? But there's the other people, like, what harm can it do? I'm going to go buy a silver coin. So, and they do. So let's read these little, I pulled 3 cards. Divine Order, multi-dimensional, and expansion. Holy, we've never gotten any of these. I trust the divine order of the things I cannot control. That's the perfect card for everybody. The divine order actually speaks to me pretty greatly too today, because what does it start with? A D. And if you are sitting in your detachment and discernment, and you have done your due diligence, even with praying, balancing, and meditating, manifesting, then divine order is on its way. So reflect upon what worries you and what you've desperately tried to control. By the way, when you are negatively going and spewing this or that about a person, whether verbally, or I think he's this or I think he's that, you are trying to control somebody else's thoughts about that person. I've never been one of those people that are like, oh, so-and-so is this, and so you better watch out for that person. I don't care. Like, I'm going to do my own research. That's always who I've been. So observe how you direct your energy attempting to drive favorable outcomes. Really. There is a time to act and a time to surrender. Wow. This card asks you to observe. I love this. Where in your life are you swimming against the currents? The efforts you exhaust to control outcomes are futile. It's futile. Surrender to the divine order with faith and acceptance. You can't control it. That's why I'm like, I can't control what's going on. I either will have a job at the end of this, or have money in my account, or be considered a big turd after all of this stuff. So I can't control any of it. Let this card reveal the divine order of nature. Let the many beings reveal themselves to you. Let the many beings reveal themselves to you. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Expansion. I am bountiful and expansive in my body, mind, and soul. The walls you've built around your heart, mind, and body are impermanent. They were created to keep you safe and protected. Beyond these walls lies the opportunity to expand your awareness and grow in a grander version of yourself. I love Sarah Clark, Nature's Rhythm Oracle. Anyways, have courage to be less guarded and invite self-expansion spiritually, mentally, and physically. What can you do to open your heart and mind? Detach. Sit in love for all and forgive. Focus on the center of this card, unraveling the possibilities of experience without walls. And the last card is multidimensional, which is number 13. Not surprised. 3 and 1s are everywhere for me, and so was 55 the other day. I'm not even joking. I couldn't even look anywhere, and it was on license plates, signs, tea bags, you name it. It was crazy. I'm a multi-dimensional being living a human experience, and my potential is limitless. Let me repeat that. I am a multi-dimensional being living a human experience, and my potential is limitless. This is a good freaking card. Life is often perceived as happening to us. You must remember that part of the incarnated human experience is designed for 3-dimensional reality. This reality contains I'm gonna start crying. Contains programmed beliefs, ideologies, and systems limited by sensory perception. Remember that there are worlds within worlds. Oh, look at those bumps. Energy exists where it cannot be perceived within the senses. When you venture between these worlds, examine your heightened sense of awareness beyond your thoughts and limitations. As you observe this card, embrace your potential and desired superpower. Unleash your multidimensional being as you meditate with your eyes wide open. I cannot even. You cannot argue with any of these, Carol. Like, divine order, expansion. And I just noticed this. I'm going to hold this up. 13 is multidimensional. Expansion is 3. What's 13 plus 3? 16. Divine order. Wow. I'm going to meet you, Sarah. I'm going to meet you one day. I'm going to meet you and tell you how great your cards are and show you how much love I have for you. She's a friend of mine's daughter, and I'm going to make that happen one day. I just think she bangs it out of the park with her cards. Like, wow, wowzers. So I also wanted to tell you, if you're in Calgary, to go to Zoe's on 14th and 14th, this cute little thrift shop. She's a really nice lady. And she's a Croatian lady, but I found this book the other day along with my shirt that I was wearing. It's called Heaven on Earth, and I'm like, oh my goodness. A guided journal for creating your own divine paradise by Tanya Richardson. And I'm like, this is something. Chapter 1, in heaven you are surrounded by love. This is awesome. I wanted to read this part to you because it's a Rumi. Quote, whenever we manage to love without expectations, calculations, negotiations, we are indeed in heaven. So that's what we're coming through with this big test, is whether or not we're sitting in with the love, the emotion, being ready to like just sit in utter happiness and detach from all of those things that are going around that we have absolutely no control over. We are multidimensional beings that are expanding. So when this universe of crap collapses, it opens up our hearts even more. and there's going to be more love and abundance that we will even not even know like that ever existed. And that's a lot of people have tapped into that higher vibration and higher timeline of love. Like when I'm walking down the street, I implore everybody that actually does any walking in a city to do this exact same thing, or even in your town, or when you go into a city from your farm or wherever, or the mountains, to practice this exercise, because I've been doing it for a long time and I think it's very helpful in transmutation. And Dana even says, I see you going around, boop, 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 boop. So we put ourselves, and I wrote it down. Dana was telling me about the word yesterday. It's called a Maharic shield, and that's what our aura is basically. It's this big bubble of, once you've reached this high level of vibration, this Maharic aura, there's nothing, like no parasites can come into your field. You are like impervious. They cannot attack you. They are like, get away, blink, 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 blink. And that's words, vibrations, people negatively trying to attack you. So what I personally do before I actually leave or come back into the city is I put myself in a severe divine love protective white bubble. But whilst I'm walking, I go, Creator, with every step that I take, with every breath that moves me through the streets, amplify my love for and light for each step times infinity, so people can feel it all around me no matter where I'm walking. And it makes a difference. You should honestly try it and see the way people look at you versus before doing that. I beg you to try it, because people just, it's a difference. And negative vibrations won't even look at you. That's the other thing that incredible happens, is that if there's somebody trying to do nefarious things, it doesn't work. It's like, yeah, that it's got zero effect. So that's the one thing that I wanted to share. And the other thing that I really loved about our conversation yesterday, when I was asking Dana for a card reading, was, she goes, we're all buffering. And I'm like, that's right, like the old timelines are catching up to the new timelines. So they've got this little lag where it's like, okay, we're kind of, it's starting to make sense now. So we're even doing that with new information. So the big what if, to me, is going to be interesting. Like when the masks come off, when all this discernment has been filtered out and more people's collective consciousness rises, there is nothing stopping what's happening, because there's truth, and the truth is what wins. And so that's why I'm not attaching any emotions either. Pay attention when I say this, because if what we've believed in certain things are true and of love, then those will remain. No negative emotions are going to be allowed going forward. That's the other part of this big honeypot. They're finding out who all the turds are online to get rid of them, because they are not welcome in the new God's highway, okay, where it's unhackable. And I just noticed too that Russia's gonna be the head of the BRICS. What? What happened? Shocking, really shocking. So I've been telling people, literally people even with purple hair, nose rings, and probably a pronoun, you should go watch The War on Children. You should go watch that. Tell all your friends to. Like with children, it's very informative. Okay, I will do that. Like, tell as many people as you want. So we must help educate people in love. Don't judge them. Like, I try not to be like, oh my God. Like, why? That's letting them win. Literally, when you're like, and I do that sometimes over, well, trolls at first. I'm like, oh, I do that. And then I'm just start laughing. I'm like gonna be making a song, a troll song. And like, I like that one that guy made about the ring of fire, the ring of fire. But yeah, I'll be making my own troll song. So I hope that's making sense to everybody. Hello, everybody. And the truth will set us free everywhere. Everyone I tell tells me their personal secrets. Yes, this is true. This is why I'm like, TMI, TMI, TMI. I'm in my head, TMI. I don't know if I know, want to know. But again, we're going to be leaving this old world behind. So as we rise through our emotions and shed more stuff off, ooh, Muffins is going all cuckoo squirrely. We learn more, we grow more. And that's all this is a big lesson in the 4Ds: due diligence, discernment, and detachment. So do yourself a favor and dip out of the online shenanigans if it's starting to wear you down. And that's what I see people doing, is I feel like I can control this, so I'm going to tell you how I feel. I feel like I control this, so I'm going to tell you how I feel. And that's where we find ourselves getting into a lot of hurt and anger, because it's like one big ball of emotion just swirling around and we can't pick through it. We need to detach from what people's expectations of you are and your own expectations of yourself, and live present, because when you change the present, you change the future. See how that works? So that's why I was trying to stick to my love vibrations and not try to be too effed off in all of these ominous attacks that are going on, because literally that's all people have right now, is to call people names. I'm like, we're not in high school, dude. Like, this is what I feel like. I feel like this is like a Kardashian episode where I'm like this cast off character. It's like, oh yeah, thanks for that. I'm just gonna talk my opinion on you and put you over there, and when the credits roll, they'll roll. Like, I don't care. And I never started out this to have my face all over the media, but I think through my life experiences, I have been, gifted with no fear of public speaking, and I've also been gifted with being myself no matter what happens. I don't know how to be fake, and I can't stand fake. I don't get down with people who can't be authentic in their skin or can't realize that about themselves. That's, and that's just been who I am this whole time. I am me, and you are you. So we should all be just doing our best to love each other and honoring each person's journey. I don't ever try and guess what people are going through, because I have a lot of friends that have been through some pretty severe 3D traumas in the last 4 years. And I think they're personally my heroes for how they were managing through a lot of their own personal conflicts. So I respect people for how they're handling this. And the other thing I'm going to point out, because it's been brought up, and it's basically a statement that I've heard about PG, okay? So I'm gonna say this in his defense, because I respect the guy and I get his sense of humor. I know a lot of people don't get PG's sense of humor, and that's okay. But at what point was he not supposed to defend himself or his family? And the what if for me is, what if he is this person that people have decoded besides myself? What if he is the character behind SNOWDEN? What if he is that character? Who else would be attacked more online than that dude? Just making a glaring observation. And who else would also, you guys got to use your melons on this, who also would have the capability to know electronically, computerally, to get and extract all of this information. Now, a friend commented, well, why does the Rumbles glitch out all the time? I'm not a bad person. Rumble glitches out on me all the time. It says on one of my pages I have 11,000 views, and on another one, 1,000. What does that mean? I don't know. Rumble's effing with me. Do I really have, I know I lost a lot of followers because of me supporting someone I respect in their position because I've done my work for the last 14 months of knowing him. I've only known about him for 14 months, but I've done a lot of work in discernment. So that's the only question I've got to ask people is we must use common sense right now and look at the big picture of why do you think you're getting sucked into this? And I'm not going to say shame on you for doing it. That's not what I'm getting at when I say this. But be very, 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 very cautious with your words online, because who knows what kind of repercussions those things have. And that's why I'm no dummy. I am no dummy. Do you think I'm like, of 25 years of knowing the computer business and what HACKERSs are capable of doing and shutting things off and infiltrating and spying and blah, 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 and all this stuff, do you think I'm about to say where things can be screenshot? Now, and also use your head too. Do you think that somebody who's fighting for the very children that we're trying to protect would be doing something like this? Like, that's the thing that just makes me laugh the hardest. Like, this guy telling you about human trafficking and all this stuff, and he knows how to catch the bad guys, and like, he's giving you all this information, and you're just be like, I think he's fake. Why would somebody make all these claims if it was easily proven to be false? That's all. Like, when you know computers, you know that network engineers are a breed of themselves. And this person, I believe, is like not even, I wouldn't even call them a network engineer. I would just call them a master builder of the environment, the matrix. So they know everything about the matrix, in my opinion, and how it works. Literally to go. So if you have that person with that capability. But again, my opinion doesn't mean that I'm right. And if I'm wrong, I'm always happy to do a video, because this is how I explain it to all my friends. Because I've done it in a FLAT video, Earth video, you know what I'm talking about. I like Sister Cousin's response to, does it change your view out your window every day? No. Then why are you attached to it? So, it's not for you. I've been saying this for 4 years. Move the fuck on. I love you. But we must need to buckle down now. So, get more glimmers and get rid of your triggers. That's all. So, thank you to the Raven Moonstone News team for all your love and support and awesome posts and everything that you've been doing for the past 4 years. That includes all of the extended spice rack and all of my family. I truly love you dearly, and I love all of my friends who watched me for the 4 years, or if you're new or whatever. I am super grateful to you. And if you didn't know what I was talking about the last hour, you need to go watch the last month's video. I'm just kidding. Most of you know what I'm talking about. But there's tons of videos to go watch on Rumble that don't have very many views, so it's Raven Moonstone News. And I am just super grateful. Have a wonderful day, everybody. I love you all. Take care. Oh, I'm going to read one more comment here before I sign out. Oh, love and above, exactly. My birthday today. Oh, happy birthday. And happy early birthday to Smoky Spice. Her birthday's on the 9th. Shout out, doo-doo-doo. What, I don't know where. From Sri Lanka. Woo! I like Sri Lanka. I've never been there, but anyways. So awesome. Keep up the hard work. Oh, yes, there's a lot of good patriots out there doing hard work. I kind of had to step back from decoding a lot of stuff because it's just a year. This is a year cycle for me. I'm just seeing all the things that I decoded a year ago come to fruition. I don't mean that in a cocky sense. I just mean when you're in a word soup stew for like a year, all those words are gonna come back up sooner or later. So that's kind of where I'm at. So I'm super grateful to everyone again. Thank you for watching the YouTube. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for commenting. I do try and read everybody's comments and at least give a hearts or a thumbs up or something to it. So I am very, very grateful to everyone. So I love you. Blessings. Oh, where's this one from? I gotta say, Dana ELS. I don't know where that is. Anyways, it must be in Sri Lanka because it looks like the same person commented. So sweet. I gotta go look that up on a map now. By the way, Dana and I were talking about those two words, finding solace, and solace is my nephew's name, that little bud that passed a few years ago. So go put that into Gematria. No coincidences. Let love.